All right, hello everyone. How is everyone today? Today we have with us Beatrice Dixon. She is the owner of the Honey Pot, which is the first complete feminine care system. We are super excited to have her in the building today because she is bold, she's confident, and she truly embodies everything that owning your image means. So,
Yes,
Beatrice,
thank
how
you.
are you? Thank you so much for being here with us.
I'm good. I'm good. Everything's good. How are you?
We're doing well.
We're doing good. How has
Yes.
quarantine life been for you? How is it?
It's been fine. There hasn't been, anything that I would complain about. It's, I'm just taking it on with stride. Things have been really busy and really hectic. So I haven't really had time to do anything but just be present and work and
Right.
have time for myself and my family. So I've just been focused really. So it's been good. It's just been active and busy, very busy.
Yes, same,
Same for
same.
Yeah,
Same for
us.
us. This is really
yeah.
active, really busy. Sometimes to reflect too, which has been really good, I think.
Exactly.
And speaking of being busy and active, give us a little bit more information and the audience a little bit more information about your brand and what you were all about.
So our brand, we are a plant-based feminine hygiene company, and we really focus on vaginal wellness, vaginal education, um, taking the shame and the taboo out of humans with vaginas, right?
Right.
There's so much of that that's attributed in our community, outside of our community, and it's really it's an unnecessary place to live in shame and guilt when half of the planet has a vagina, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
So yeah, so we put a lot of our focus towards building our business, growing it, making sure, that, that we're responsible for the products that we put out, you know. But yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. This type of business is really hard, when it scales and grows, it's not easy to do, so there's a lot of learnings that are happening on a continuous basis, you know?
What can you tell us just a little bit maybe about what have been some of your struggles in building your brand from where you started to maybe where you are now, like you said, growing it and how it's becoming?
Yeah, I wouldn't call them struggle. I would just call it like, this is just how the shit works. It's not, none of it is a struggle. I feel like, and pardon me, I hope I don't offend anybody with what I'm about to say, but struggle seems like it comes from a place of lack, right?
That's
That's
good.
good.
And even though things may be hard, difficult, challenging, uphill, um, it's still abundant as fuck. It's not struggle. Um, you know, so yeah, I mean, look, it's hard knowing how to build your supply chain.
Yeah.
It's hard managing humans, right?
Yes.
Yes.
There's so much that you're not in control over. We bootstrap our business, so managing money and finances and being lean, and advertising agencies and marketing agencies and creative agencies and consultants, and there's so many things that have to happen. There's so many places there's so many things that happen before our product gets on a shelf, right? Or shows up to our warehouse. Navigating all of those parts, that's the challenging thing, you know?
That's really good. I love what you said there. It's not a struggle. It's
Same.
uphill. It's something you're overcoming, something that you have to work towards.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, how would you say, or what would the tools you've used to stay grounded in that mindset of it's not a struggle, but it's a place of abundance? What would you say, I guess, is how do you get that to that spot and continue on with that mindset?
I mean, I want to be in that spot, you know. I want to think abundantly. I want to grow abundantly. That doesn't necessarily mean that lack doesn't happen, right? Or egos don't happen, or sadness doesn't happen. Like, all the things that happen as a human, the shit's gonna happen, right? I think that it's just what you do with those moments and how you carry them forward, or leave them where they are, and then you move forward, right?
Really good.
Yeah. So I think I just want to live in this place. I want to be free. I want to be present. I want to enjoy my time while I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's so important.
That's important.
So with that want to, I can't afford to think any other way.
That's good.
That's good.
That's really good. Keeping your mindset in the present and moving forward, that's always super, super important.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say those are part of your core values when you built your brand, the abundance, the mindset? Is that where you started at as building your brand? Is that where you?
No.
No.
I think it's been like maybe in the last 18 months that I've transitioned my my life and my lifestyle and the way that I think and how I move through the world. It definitely wasn't at the genesis of when we got started, you know. But it came when it needed to. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. It came when the shit counted.
Right.
And then I think just being in the school of life, can get you to that place, right? Like you gotta experience the other side of the grass to know that that's not the side that you want to be on, even though both sides can be the same. Right. I mean, it's grass either way. The shade is the same. It's the same grass. It's just the fence in between. Right. But I guess everything is perspective. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Definitely would say everything is.
Can I just say that your eyebrows are fantastic?
Doesn't she have the best eyebrows?
Oh, thank you.
They're so good. Yes, sis. For the eyebrow game. They're so good.
They're so good.
The struggle right now because we've been in the house and I'm just
No, you're doing good. It has not been a struggle the way that those things look. Those are fantastic. They're fantastic.
Speaking of eyebrows and looking good, do you connect with the message when you feel good, or I'm sorry, when you look good, you feel good?
No, that shit is not true.
Oh,
that's
okay.
a fucking lie. You can look fantastic and be terribly sad inside. I think that you must feel good first. Feel good. Look good is secondary to feel good every time. And sorry if that doesn't meet with your guys' narrative.
This is what I think people need to hear, especially in a time like this, people are looking in so many different directions, trying to define who they are when, jobs are shut down. Places where you used to make yourself feel good are shut down. So it's really giving us the opportunity to look at ourselves and be like, wait a minute, well, now that the nail salons, the hair salons, all this stuff is gone, who am I?
Who am I? You must feel good. It could be a person who has physical deformities on their face, but they might be happier than a person who is a fucking supermodel and has an eating disorder and is going through some real life shit, right? Like, so just because you're beautiful don't mean shit. You could be an unattractive person, but be remarkably happy. And you don't really give a fuck about, what matters to you is not what you have on or how your hair is done or how you smell. What matters to you is that you actually like love yourself and care about yourself and care about your family. And because you love yourself, you're able to just exalt all of this beauty into the world. That's where the shit comes from. Otherwise, it's fake,
Yeah.
So fuck being cute if I'm not happy.
I love you.
I love that. I love that so much, because that's really where we're coming from with this interview and this series, is really about being empowered within, how you feel within, and your image being a total package of who you are within exuding outward. So
your image is inside.
Yes.
Your image is not, that is not an external thing, right? You get to show your personality through the external shit, right? But trust and believe, that's why you can see like an Anthony Bourdain who got to live this beautiful, gorgeous life, just traveling and eating and fucking and doing whatever he wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
And still, which was his choice,
right,
completely his choice, because it was his life.
Right.
He decided to end it. Was his choice. No disrespect to that. But I'm just saying, just because your life feels good, looks good, sounds good, smells good, all the shit, you could have gotten off the phone with somebody and had the best conversation of your life. It happens all the time.
Right.
People can get, whoever the last person was they talked to, and the person's like, how could they have done that? Right? Like,
right.
They sounded so happy, because how you sound don't mean shit. How you are and how you truly feel, that's what means something, So, I mean, I feel like we ought to do better as the human race.
Yes.
Being comfortable in our skin.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All of us, for sure. So with that said, how would you describe your personal style for when you are out in the world, when you are doing branding and marketing? Does fashion play a role in how you brand your business, or
how you brand yourself? How that ties into
I mean, I love fashion. I am a bit esoteric in how I think. And I'm very free flowing. Comfort is a thing for me, because I'm comfortable with myself. So therefore I must be comfortable in my physical being as well. So I think that plays a part, but I don't think that I necessarily had that conversation with branding agencies, like, this is who. It's a part of you in it.
Mm-hmm.
Our brand tries to be very authentic. We try to meet humans with vaginas where they are. We're not trying to put paint where it's not. You know what I mean? We try to show up in the world as authentic as possible. So I think in that way, I come into play, because I am very authentic in my lifestyle, in my love, in my heart, with my friendships, with my family, with you, with anybody. This is me all the time, right? It wouldn't matter if I was talking to President Obama or my mom or my 96-year-old uncle, right? Like, you're always going to get this, right?
Holding that integrity of who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
So speaking on integrity and the brand and authenticity, I know there has been some recent controversy with, the commercial at Target, and, what you said. And we want you to let the audience know like how you dealt with that, and sort of, I mean, just business owners, people in general, when you're building a brand and building a business, we're all gonna, you know, come to a point where there's controversy. And
Yeah.
how did you deal with that, and how has that shaped you moving forward and your team as well?
When you say how did I deal with it, can you be a little more, can you give me a little more of a detailed question, like around what way? You mean personally, how did I deal with it?
I think personally, and as well as your business.
Professionally? I
Yeah,
mean,
professionally.
professionally and personally, it was all about the business,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you know, what I said was what I meant. If I had to go back, I would say the same exact shit that I said then. Target would probably have chosen the same exact content that they did, right?
Shout out to
And
Target for the support.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they chose that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of content for them to choose from, but they chose that content, right?
Right.
And so, you know, for the people that had great the which seemed like negative things to say, but what that did for our business was it was like the best thing that ever happened for us, right? Not to us, for us. So, you know, but personally, I don't really give a fuck about what anybody thinks about me if you're not my family, if you're not my business partner, if I'm not doing business with you, right? You know, those people that had those things to say, that was their opinion, and they were completely entitled to that. And I respect their opinion, right? Did it bother me? No, because that's what they thought. I can't be affected by what somebody else thinks about what I have to say when I can't control that, in the same way that they cannot control me, right?
Right.
So, you know, we focused on the things that we can control. And you know, and thank you to all of those people that said what they said and believe what they believe.
Yeah.
I completely respect them for that, and their opinions. Because look, those people, you don't know what their upbringing was. You don't know what their personal
Absolutely.
experiences are. You don't know, you know, we just don't know.
Right.
Right? Like, what if they were taught to think that way? What some of them were saying really wasn't a bad thing, right? They thought that I should have made it more general. I respect that, right? But that's just not based on the facts of what I was not even facts, but based on the statistics of what I was talking to. You know, all girls will not necessarily have the plight as a Black woman in business.
Yeah.
And you know, you know, and if that is not something that they understand or understand, that's not my problem.
Right.
I'm in this skin. Typically I'm human. I'm not Black, right? But I am in this skin. I am a business owner, you know, co-founder of our company. We have raised money. We know what that's like. We've been out in the world. You know what I mean? So like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, and it's also what it isn't. And so,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just steadfast and focused on our business. I'm not focused on what people have to say about me, because there's no response for that.
Yes.
That's good.
And I think that's so important
Yeah.
that you say that, especially, you know, we're all in a time where social media and Facebook and people are posting things about each other. And then, you know, you want to see more into their life. And it's like, let's be focused on the mission here. Let's not get so caught up in people's opinions, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's the bottom line.
It doesn't, because there's always going to be a different opinion.
Right, right.
Those things are infinite in human beings. Opinions are not going to change. Right? People, you know, and when somebody has a response like that, there's no way for you to respond to them. There is literally no way, because you're not going to change how they feel. You're not going to, you know. So it's really important to understand that sometimes you may be able to change how they feel, but that's really not my responsibility to change how people think and feel about me, you
Right.
know.
That's
Yeah, it's my responsibility to focus on how I think and feel about myself, and that's plenty of fucking responsibility within itself. I
Yes,
don't have
it
anything else,
is.
and I think the
you know.
greatest response was that you sold out. That
Yeah,
was the
that
response
was,
right there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
With no
yeah.
spoken words. So
Right. And we're still, I mean, we still can't keep, you know, with gratitude, we still can't keep things on the shelf, right? Like
no, yeah,
everything we make, we sell right now, you know. And I don't know if that would be the case if that didn't happen. So always welcome those types of things, because you never know how it's going to catch on, you know.
right, right. So
love
good.
that.
So
Love
good.
that. Speaking of, so I feel like we're talking now about how your confidence, like you said, you are confident in who you are. We're going to get Beatrice, this is how you are at all times. How did you find your confidence? And was there a time when it was a struggle for you to really own who you are and just be confident in your skin?
Yeah, there was definitely a time. Um, you know, but again, it takes those times and what that feels like to want to get to a different place.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it's within the last 24 to 18 months, but um, I just got tired to subscribing to other people's uh, notions and what I should do and shouldn't do, and how I should live and shouldn't live, and not even like they were necessarily touting that on me, but I was believing it.
Mm.
And you know, I mean, belief is religion. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's really the real religion. Everything else is in a lot of ways are conceived by humans so that we can understand or try to wrap our mind around what makes everything that we know or think to be true from what we see and on our planet, right?
Yeah.
You know, but I just want to live in a place where I'm okay, you know, where I can really just like be here, right, and not have to really get past that, because this is enough, you know.
Right.
And again,
Yeah, you
I
are
just I
enough.
yeah, I just want to be that way, I guess. So I can't tell you. I mean, it was a combination of things. Um, you know, and I can't tell you any specific thing.
Okay.
I just got on a frequency, and that felt like the right radio station for me, you know. And so that's the one that I live on. Doesn't mean that I don't tune into another station every now and
Right.
Right,
again,
right.
because that happens. That's just being human. You know, but you know, but I'm really here, you know.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've talked about confidence, we've talked about branding, we've talked about your brand a little bit. What advice, tips, anything that you can give to our audience and our listeners, especially Black and brown girls that are coming up, that are trying to be pioneers in their businesses? What can you offer as advice for owning who they are, owning their image, owning their confidence, and really having that authenticity in their brand?
Don't put so much. If the way that people are putting so much focus and energy into either starting a brand or maintaining it, you have to understand that you have to put that same intensity, focus, drive, um, tenacity, grit. You have to put all of that same shit into yourself.
Yes.
That's
You
good.
can't you can't do one without the other, right? It don't make me wrong, it's possible.
Right.
But that place that you will live in will not be it just won't necessarily be a happy place, because owning a business is hard.
Yeah.
It's stressful, it's anxious, it's just not easy to do, you know. And if you can't get a handle on figuring out how to be happy within yourself, it's going to be really hard to manage all that's going to come with it's going to be really hard to manage all that's going to come with managing your lifestyle within your company, right? Because you have to you know, you really have to you have to balance it out. You have to make time for yourself. You have to care for yourself. You have to eat well. You have to drink water. You know, in an ideal world, you want to exercise. You know, you really have to like really carve something out for yourself, because it will be hard for you to be productive when you don't. If you're bogged down by the world, by your stress, by your anxiety, by your community, by your grief, by your shame, then it's really hard. You know, it's really hard to then also turn around and especially in the beginning when you're doing everything for your business, right? It's really hard to then turn around and be like, okay, I got to ship these products out. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to, because you're really everything within your company, especially when it's first getting started, right? So, you know, so I just say, like, if you want to really achieve success comes with achieving it personally before anything else, you know? And sometimes you're doing it while you know, it's happening at the same time, and that's fine too. But, you know, but understand that shit needs to happen, because it's a thing, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
It
What's
is
the
a
point?
thing.
What's the point of being wealthy and having money if you're not happy?
There is
There
no
is
point.
no point. Absolutely.
Because you know, you'll have the money and you'll be buying things, going places, you know, filling yourself up with all of these things, and then at the end of the day you're empty.
That is
Yeah.
fake persona, fake facade of a life. And
Yeah, money is cool. Don't make me wrong.
money
is
great.
But my sanity and my happiness is far more important.
And it has
Hi, mommy.
value. Far more value.
Sorry, my mommy just got here.
Hey, Mom. Well, Beatrice, this has been amazing. You've given us so many gems. You've given the audience so many gems. Where, like I said, we've learned about your brand. We've learned so much about you. Confidence. You are bold. You are beautiful. Your brand is amazing.
Thank you.
So much congratulations to you. Thank you for coming and sharing all of your wisdom and knowledge. Let the listeners know how they can stay up to date with you, everything you're doing, what's coming. We all want to
know. You know, we're just continuing to focus on our business. You know, keep it lean, keep it strong, keep it running. You know, and really building a real business. That's really all that we're focused on, you know. That will come with innovation and all that jazz, you know, but those things you'll see those as those things come out. You can find us at the Honey Pot Co., which is, you know, just the Honey Pot CO. And then you can find me at I am B Dixon, and I am BEADIXON. And then you can find us online at thehoneypot.co. If you want to find the retailers we're in, you can go to the store locator, put in your zip code, and it'll tell you which stores we're in. Yep.
Amazing.
Hey,
Thank you so much.
It's been such an honor to speak with you.
No, thank you, ladies. Thank you. All right, take care of yourself.
Okay, you too.